English better than Bangla. And আমাদের যারা বড় এখানে আছেন তারা আপনারা ইংরেজি বুঝতে পারেন. So I don't know where to start. The reason behind that is my experience with muktijodda did not start in 1971. It started basically in 1969 during Agartala Mamla. That's the time I got involved in few things around that place. By the way, in 1971, I was a 10th grade student. So I was supposed to appear in the matric or SSC exam in July, late July sometime. But instead of doing that, I decided to join the muktijodda. The story is very long. So the question I have for you, especially the young generation, there are multiple facets of muktijodda, at least from my perspective. One question could be why? কেন বাংলাদেশে মুক্তিযুদ্ধ হয়েছিল? That could be one question. Second question is, what is your experience when and why you went to join the muktijoddas, and what is your experience in that whole process? Or in general, what is your opinion about muktijodda's story? So which one do you want? We cannot, because this is, for me, it's a minimum 9 months, actually 3 years experience, so I cannot do it in 5 minutes. So I would like you to tell me, which one do you want to know? Why muktijodda, or my experience in muktijodda, or what? Okay, my experience in muktijodda. The first of all, in 1971, I was, as I told you, as a 10th grade student, means that I'm preparing for the SSC. Actually, I'm not 10th grade student. 10th grade was 1970, so I was preparing for the SSC exam. My father was at that time IG prisons. So our house was actually near the jail, Dhaka Central Jail. So 25th of night of 25th, this March, the Pakistan army started killing innocent peoples. They started first in the Bangladesh EPR, East Pakistan Rifles. Started killing at night. As I was preparing for the exam, I was up. Everybody was asleep. So I was up, only person up at that time at 12 o'clock in the midnight, and I started hearing firings and all those. So at the meantime, as this house is actually protected by police, so the night guard came in and started calling me. He knows that I'm the bhai, something is happening. So I called my father, everybody got up, this fire and all those stuff. Anyway, to make it shorter, so next day was curfew. Then my elder brother was a professor at Kuwait. At that time, East Pakistan EPUT, they used to call it, Engineering University. So in the afternoon, my father said that, look, the way they are killing people, so it's time, why don't you go find out what's the status of your brother's family who lives in the Kuwait staff housing or faculty housing. So me and my middle brother, Mejo Bhai, we went through the back streets in Bukshibazar, crossed some walls, went into my brother's apartment, which is facing the Jagannath Hall, all right, which faces the ground of Jagannath Hall. So we knocked, put the calling bell, nobody is opening everything, we are very worried. This is about around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then my elder brother opened the door, got mad at us. Do you know what's happening? Why you are here? And I, as a young kid, said, yeah, of course I know everything, as if I know everything. At that age, everybody thinks everybody knows. Well, you don't have any idea. Come inside. Then all the window blinds were drawn towards the Jagannath Hall. Then he said, come quietly. He opened the window curtains a little bit. Guess what I saw? hundreds of dead bodies. Hundreds of dead bodies, and within that I saw a big hole. Means a bulldozer was there in the one side of that thing, and there is a big hole in that, and full of dead bodies, and open that big hole was full of dead bodies too. And then few Pakistan armies were at the other side of that big ground, and then some of the Pakistani soldiers were walking around those dead bodies, almost looked like they are walking in a flower garden. Anyway, that was for a young kid, that's a big shock, right? Anyway, I didn't know anything about it. Afterwards, we realized, we knew after Bangladesh became liberated and we became an independent nation, my brother told us that he actually took a video of that killing. I don't know whether you have seen that or not. NBC, the only one I have the old tape with me actually, trying to convert it into modern system. But anyway, the reason I went, that time, one thing actually I realized that day or the day after that is that I was thinking, we're Muslim. By the way, my family is very pious family. Very pious family. I'm the only one is kind of, every family has a bad guy, right? I'm that bad guy. So I thought we are one of the most pious family in Bangladesh. And these people are killing us in the name of Islam because they told those soldiers that we are airlifting you to India, Kolkata, and kill all the Hindus. So at that time I thought that actually religion cannot be the main binding force, even though we try to claim it. And all these innocent people who are dying, it doesn't make any sense. Because Pakistan does not have any common among within us. Amra Bangladeshi, our culture is different, we speak different language, and all those stuff are there. The reason they could kill us because they don't understand us. And then I started thinking that we are three brothers. Both of them at that time was university professor, Buet professor. So, anyway, the short thing is I have other experience. I'm not going to tell you about that, why I went, that's the first thing. So, in July, me and one of my cousin, we are, by the way, 7 days apart, decided that we should join the muktijodda. My elder brother, not the eldest one, the middle one, and one of my cousins, they did in April, they walked to Kolkata. Then after 1 week they came back. The reason they came back because it was an organized date at that time, you must understand. So by July it was organized. So me and my cousin sneaked out. I wrote a letter to my father that you have 3 sons. Both of your other 2 sons are already established. I'm just trying to give my SSC exam. So every family must sacrifice something for this country. And this is the time. And your sacrifice is your son. One of your son. This is the least amount you could do. Least you could do because it's not going to change the life of the whole family. I don't earn anything. I was a little wild also. So in a sense, it's not as bad. That's the letter I wrote. Gave it to one of my friends and told him that after Maghrib, you go to my home, ask for me. If they say I'm here, then you just, okay, it's fine. And if they say I'm not here, then give this letter. The reason I have to do that because I may fail in my first attempt to escape, right? Do you understand that, right? So I don't want to jeopardize my transition. So anyway, this is a protected compound, and all the Shipahis we used to call were non-Bengali. And that poor friend, he just somehow came without asking anything. He gave the letter to whoever just responded, and that was one of my cousins, and they asked, hey, stop. He ran away. So they just read that letter. I didn't know that. Anyway, I walked that whole day. We walked to North Sindhi. From North Sindhi to somewhere near a place in Kumilla. I don't remember that name. Then after that, we went to a place where it crosses the Kumilla Chittagong highway. We had to stay there for 2 nights because the people who were crossing us, by the way, they were the Rajakars. You should understand that. They were the Rajakars who were crossing us. So 3 of us were there, my cousin and there was another guy. And they crossed us. They showed that they don't have any choice but to pick up those arms for them because they have killed everybody, all the male and everything. So that night, 2 nights after that, we reached Agartala. There was a big story. I'm not going to tell you about that. There was a fight and all sorts of stuff. We went to the holding camp, they call it. We had to have holding camps. Then from there, by the way, there was a little bit of problem with the holding camp. So one of the MPs at that time is called Mizanur Rahman Chaudhary. He was from Chandpur, I believe. He took us to the MP camp and said that I'm going to send you to Kolkata and send you to officers, so-called officers training. So we went to Kolkata again. Stayed there for a few weeks. Then we realized that the best thing, and there, by the way, Kolkata it's called 16 number Princep Street, was the headquarters of Bangladeshi government, where Mr. Tajuddin, Mr. Nazrul Islam, he was our president at that time, by the way, they were all there, okay? And our commander Osmani. So we were there a few days. Then we went back to Agartala again and took a guerrilla training. By the way, I was a guerrilla fighter, not frontal fighter. I took a guerrilla training in Tejpur camp in Assam. And we were called a special force. And we were assigned to Dhaka city, because I was from Dhaka city sector 2. So the training was about 4 weeks. Then we came back to Bangladesh in the 1st of December. We are inducted. At that time, December 3, the frontal fight started, you know that, right? December 3, that far as I remember, frontal fight started. So we joined the Bangladesh army at that time in a frontal fight in the Akhauda sector. It's between Akhauda and Gangasagar. Then after December 10th, that portion was taken over by the Bangladesh army. And then we started coming to Dhaka city. So we reached Dhaka city area in December 13th, I believe, or 12th, don't remember that much. So my real fighting, I could not do guerrilla fighting, even though I was trained for that. My real fighting was frontal fighting in Akhauda sector. And then 16 December in the morning, no, not in 16, I'm so sorry. 17 December in the morning, we actually entered the Dhaka city because we are in a place in Jinjira, next to Jinjira. I do believe it's called Srinagar, right? Srinagar. So the point what I will tell you about muktijoddas, if you think, first of all, you said all sorts of eulogies. Those eulogies are not needed. Because I did not go to join Bangladesh Muktijodda for glory or anything. One thing I will tell you, every single Muktijodda who were with me, we had only one goal, is to make our country free. And not a single one thought that they will come back alive. Okay? So we were ready to die. That's the only difference. Every single one of them was there to knowingly that I am going to die. That's the bottom line of this system. So the life I am living, you must understand, is an extension now. Because at that time, all of us decided to give our life. So now we are living, is free. So the only problem is that I at least don't want any eulogy. There is nothing to be. We did not go to Muktijodda for glory or rewards or anything, because none of us thought we were going to live. So there is no glory involved, there is no reward involved. We wanted to do that so that we can live as a free country, a just country. So let's all work together to make our country a just and free country. Thank you.